Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is OLNUZOLA, and in this video, I'm making this video because I want to share with you this card and its story. This is from the Mary L. Tarot, and I just read the story that goes with it in the book, and it's so accurate for today, for this period, for this time that we live in. So it's not a very long story. It's only two pages. If you're interested in the accurate message of this card of today, enjoy. This is the Knight of Discs. First it says the middle path. Then there's a quote from Buddha, which goes, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." And here comes the story. As a young prince, Siddhartha Gautama was kept sheltered and secluded by his father king Suddhodana inside the palace walls. He was not allowed to see death or old age or disease in any kind, and did not know these things existed. After he married and had a child, his curiosity about life beyond the walls increased. Finally, the king relented and allowed Siddhartha to leave the palace. But unbeknownst to him, the king had sent a party before them to remove any trace of old age, death, or disease from the village. One old man avoided being hidden somehow, and Siddhartha saw him. He asked his chariot driver Kanna what was wrong with the man. He'd never seen an old person before. Kanna explained that everyone grows old. Disturbed, Siddhartha made more trips outside the palace walls and witnessed old age, disease, and death. He saw an ascetic and thought it was a sign. "How can I enjoy a life of pleasure when there is so much suffering in the world?" he said, and escaped the palace, leaving all of his possessions and his wife and child behind. He became an ascetic and for years studied under various religious leaders. The answers to the problem of suffering eluded him though. One day he was bathing in the river, and being so weak from depriving himself of food, he was unable to pull himself out and almost drowned. Then a young girl offered him a bowl of rice, which he accepted and ate hungrily. Disappointed that his asceticism did not end suffering, it merely hastened his own death. When his belly was full, he was overcome with a wonderful feeling, and he realized that the answer would lie neither in the deprivation or self-mortification of an ascetic, nor the indulgence or luxury of a prince, but somewhere in the middle. That night, Siddhartha sat down at the foot of a Bodhi tree and vowed to remain there in meditation until he found the answer to end universal suffering. The earth demon Mara, feeling a challenge, came to Siddhartha and tempted him with all kinds of pleasures. Pleasures of the flesh. She then threatened him with lightning and earthquakes and evil demons. To every attack, Siddhartha answered with calm virtue, never flinching and never rising, determined to keep his promise to stay until he found the answer to end universal suffering. By the time the sun rose in the morning, Siddhartha had awakened to his Buddha nature and became himself the Buddha. He completely understood the cause of suffering and the steps to take to end it. Like many myths and stories of religious prophets, the life of the Buddha is a story of redemption. He starts in a perfect palace, much like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, ignorant to the suffering of the world. Then he sees something small which awakens him to reality. For him it was the old man in the village. For Adam and Eve it was eating the fruit of knowledge. Knowing the truth, they could no longer stay in the safe embrace of God or parents, and each were born naked and without possessions into the cruel world, like a baby, bald and naked, knowing nothing, owning nothing. The Buddha even left his wife and child, which I believe should not be taken literally, but instead, as is often the way with archetypal symbolism. All people are aspects of the self. And so Buddha left his feminine and child aspect in heaven, in a divine place, in a divine palace. And so, even as his body walked the earth, he always had a divine aspect that remained. Again, even so, as his body walked the earth, he always had a divine aspect that remained. Because like all of us, we are water and blood, earthly and divine. And as the Buddha learned, one cannot end suffering by renouncing the body and living only in spirit, or by renouncing spirit and living only in the body. One should walk a middle course, because that is what we are and what we are made to do. The young Buddha was ambitious to end suffering, to fix the state of suffering in the world. When he awakened to his Buddha nature, he realized that what we thought was in the sky was really in the heart. That suffering does not come from without, it comes from within. That happiness and sorrow are like spokes on a wheel, forever turning, coming and going, eternally changing. Possessions come and go. Lovers come and go. Pain and pleasure comes and goes. This is not a defect in the world, it is perfection. The world does not need to be fixed. Like Buddha resisting the evils of Mara, as he sat at the base of the world tree, we must react to the joys and sorrows of life with calm virtue, and we will find peace. Peace comes from within. This card was based on the idea of Buddha and shows the young Siddhartha on the powerful tiger. This card was based on the idea of Buddha and shows the young Siddhartha on the powerful tiger of his destiny. The tiger has his paws in a pond made by one of Buddha's footprints on the earth, and his body and tail rise up into the body tree. He has everything he needs here and now, enough food, air and water. A powerful vehicle for his motion through life, which is black and white, good and evil, just like the checkered floor of the temple and his house. His home is just a short walk over the lawn. The hanged man hangs from the tree, and the Buddha sits at its base, and the knights all ride forth to the corners of the kingdom to solve the mysteries of man's happiness and fulfillment in life. This card is the manifestation of them all into earth. The idea that here and now, in the present, where the mopeds drive through my street while we listen to the crickets. That was my adding. The idea that here and now, in the present, in your life, you have all you need to feed yourself and your soul. That whatever it is that you seek is not out in the clouds, but here in the heart. You are home. The middle pillar, the middle way, temperance. It's how you stay in balance. Like they spoke about the wheel, the spokes in the wheel. Life will give us pain and pleasure. Cloudy rain, storms, sun, singing birds. Not one day is the same. No matter what we experience in life, we should always adjust a little, sometimes a lot, to go back into balance. And then while doing so, something else happens. So we have to adjust again and go back into that balance. And that is what the lemniscati means to me. That is one of the aspects, or the aspect maybe. You are home. You have everything you need. Now is a great time for us to think about what is the basic that you need to live. You have it all. It is not much. Realize that you have it. It calms your heart knowing that you have it. Think about your heart. Let your body expand. Breathing out is more important today because we're letting go of tension. are healthy and you are healing, that means you're healthy and you're gaining even more strength. You have everything you need and you have the capability to protect yourself because you love yourself. I closed my eyes, maybe you did as well. I hope you did. With me it goes automatic. So this isn't a meditation video, but I just wanted to share with you the importance of breathing. Ironically enough, I'm a little bit short of air today because I've been recovering from a cold. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I will share more videos like this, who knows? Stay calm. Find the middle way. The middle way is always at a different place, but it's always in the middle. Lamniscati. We have to keep finding the middle way. We have to keep adjusting. Thank you. Love.